Chapter 531 to 432, Holy Judgment. Lu Qian finished analyzing the horizontal sword made of adamantium. Zheng Yi saw that her brows were deeply furrowed and she looked serious, so he couldn't help asking, "How is it? Can this metal be reproduced?" Everyone looked at Lu Qian with hope. If they could get this weapon made of the hardest metal today, everyone would like to have one. Even a weak person can use it for self-defense. After all, who doesn't love magic weapons in the end times? Lu Qian said to everyone, "I have completed the analysis. The forging of this adamantium is very complicated. In addition to the extremely rare materials used, the forging process is also extremely cumbersome. For me, of course, I can use the ability of divine machine control to spend a certain amount of time to smelt the adamantium. But how to shape it into a weapon will take me time to think about it." Everyone heard this, and they were not disappointed, but laughed instead. It should be so. If you can easily crack the top cold weapon materials in the region and refine the same weapons, then won't they all have to kill themselves? Zhang Yi and Liang Yu both have their own weapons. Among the rest of the people, only Uncle Yu is a melee type of alien who has high requirements for weapons. So everyone is not anxious about this magical adamantium metal equipment. Zhang Yi comforted Lu Qian and said, "Don't worry about this matter, just do it step by step. Haste makes waste, especially for products in these high-tech fields. You must have enough patience to make them. If this thing is so easy to replicate, it would have been popularized in the entire Blizzard City army by now." Encouraged by Zhang Yi, Lu Qian nodded vigorously. "I will definitely study the production process of it and the black battle suit as soon as possible." Liang Yu took the knife and admired it carefully for a while. As a warrior, she is particularly fond of weapons, especially famous weapons. She also uses horizontal swords. But what made her happiest at this moment was that Zhang Yi had his own weapon, and he would not always use her Longming in the future. In fact, Zhang Yi would only give Longming to her when he encountered a big battle. At other times, such as when Zhang Yi practiced swordsmanship, he also liked to use Longming. After all, every man could not resist the charm of a precious sword. Zhang Yi, give this sword a name. A precious sword must have its name to suit its owner, Liang Yu said to Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi took back the horizontal sword and did not put it into the scabbard. Because his alien space is the best scabbard, and not putting it in the scabbard is also for the convenience of taking it out at any time to meet the enemy. Looking at the precious sword in his hand flashing with a faint blue cold light, Zhang Yi thought for a while and said, "Then call it the Holy Judgment. The sacred judgment is naturally the judgment of human life. Cutting people like cutting paper, this is the meaning Zhang Yi gave it." After naming the sword, Zhang Yi asked everyone to go back to their rooms to rest and wait for the Jiangnan District Alien Organization to gather tomorrow. Operations Center. After watching the battle, Zheng admired Zhang Yi in his heart, but he was also thinking about Bailey Chongqing's comments on him. He frowned slightly and wondered if he could put this shield in a suitable position for use. That's right, it's not a sword or a gun, but a shield. Zhang Yi gave him the feeling of a person who is extremely good at defense, and after ensuring that he was not in danger, he would fight back with a shield of perseverance. This kind of person may be boring, but if put in a suitable position, it often produces unexpected results. At this time, Secretary Lan Xingken came from outside and whispered to him. Zheng raised his head and said lightly in a majestic tone, "Let him in." Lan Xingqing took the order and went down. After a while, he came with a man. That person was not someone else, but Wu Di, who had fought fiercely with Zhang Yi before. Wu Di came not far from Zheng, straightened his back, and saluted respectfully. "Commander, I am not strong enough to defeat Zhang Yi. Please punish me." It turned out that the reason why Wu Di appeared in the password bar so coincidentally and seemed to be reckless to challenge Zhang Yi was not a coincidence at all. He did this under Zheng's order. Since the end of the last battle in Tianhai City, Zheng has been interested in the name of Zhang Yi. No matter how Bailey Chongqing reported, he could not cover up one fact. That is, in the last battle, it was indeed Zhang Yi who relied on his own strength to block the alien Yuan Kongya, who had just been promoted to the Ypsilon level. Although it was just a simple mention, it fell into Zhu Zheng's ears, and he could not easily ignore it. He knew better than anyone what the Epsilon-level alien meant. Even though there are many masters in Blizzard City now, no alien has truly reached the world-recognized Epsilon level. Even masters such as Deng Shintong and Bian Junwu are just a little bit behind. Just that little bit is the difference between heaven and earth. Even so, Zhang Yi was able to block Yuan Kongye's attacks multiple times? What does this mean? It goes without saying. So Zhu Zheng had already made a plan in his mind. Zhang Yi must come to this rally, and this battle was also arranged by him long ago. But the result of this battle disappointed him a little. It turned out that Zhang Yi was really only good at defense, but his offensive means were relatively poor. That's why Zhu Zheng lost interest in Zhang Yi later and only regarded him as a chess piece with special defensive abilities that could be used at special moments. Zhu Zheng turned his head and glanced at Wu Di. The defeated Wu Di was obviously a little ashamed in front of Zhu Zheng, lowering his head and not daring to look into Zhu Zheng's eyes. Zhu Zheng smiled kindly and said, "Haha, what's there to apologize for? It's only been 3 months since you awakened your superpowers and joined the Black Robe team. Wu Di, you have great potential. The reason you lost to Zhang Yi is just because you lack combat experience." At this point, Zhu Zheng's face became a little serious. Now that Bian Junwu has died in battle, the combat effectiveness of the Black Robe squad has also been severely damaged. You need to grow up as quickly as possible. In the future, you and Bailey Chongqing will carry the banner of the team together. Wu Di clenched his fists tightly. Thinking of Bian Junwu, whom he regarded as a father, he felt a little sad, but a great passion surged in his heart. That's right. Now he must carry the banner of the investigation team. Without Bian Junwu to rely on, he will become everyone's support. He is still young, and his abilities still have unlimited room for growth. So a temporary victory or defeat can't prove anything. Wu Di raised his neck and said loudly, "Yes, Commander. I will never let you down." This chapter ends here. If you are eager to know more, then subscribe quickly if not already and comment to cheer me up. Thanks, my dear viewers.